This episode of the Live, Q, or Die podcast is brought to you by the cool motherfuckers over at Tactical Distributors. What do you need? They got it. Jackets, shirts, belts, masks. You need boots? They got boots. You need socks to go inside those boots? Yeah, they got socks for days. You need a jacket? You need eyewear? What you need? You need a new knife? You need tools? Bro, they got it for you. They got like throwing knives, all right? Need to throw a knife? Come to Tactical Distributors. They got backpacks, gun bags, they got pouches for your stuff, like whatever you want to put in there. Bullets, magazines, jelly beans. They got it, all right? They got patches. Guys, they have a 007 GoldenEye N64 cartridge fucking patch, all right? Who has that? Tactical Distributors has that, all right? Anything you need to be tactical as fuck, come to tacticaldistributors.com. Upon checkout, put in the promo code UNPOSSIBLE15. That is UNPOSSIBLE15, gets you 15% off your entire order. Get to it, tacticaldistributors.com.
What shoes you been running, Kevin? Because you were on the Ultima boot. Yeah, shoes. You were on the Ultima boots for a while, but I saw you in
First of all,
Vans.
Kevin's not running anywhere.
Well,
what the hell's that supposed to mean? I'm a fucking specimen.
Yes, you are.
I am a unit. I am a stud. I have been training. I will challenge any of you guys to any physical activity right now.
Some cool people coming on in the future.
I'm so
near
excited.
future.
Yeah, well, in the future, so it looks like May or possibly June, we're going to get Lorena Noveski,
Yep.
who that will be another Chris Barrett sort of epic. We're going to drink and tell stories, and that'll probably be an emotional one. I was super close to Johnny, and just telling those stories, and since so much time's passed now since his death. And Lorena's been successful in taking over Noveski on her own. So I look forward to that. But, I've told some stories about him and what a crazy ass he was and such. I mean, just another. I know these bracelets that somebody had made like for his sort of celebration of life party extravaganza that we had. They say, rip American badass. Yeah. And that's just the way he kind of was. And he's someone to envy. I mean, he lived his life, on his own terms and beat of his own drum, and it was kind of cool.
Yeah.
So I look forward to that one.
Mm-hmm. I mean, you've talked about it too, about how artistic she is. But I didn't
incredibly.
realize a bunch of the paintings in here that you have, she did. I didn't realize until I looked at it. I'm like, I didn't. That's crazy.
Yeah, probably 10 or 12 years ago, I bought art from her. Yeah, some of it's in here. There's a picture.
Yeah, there's one.
Oh,
right
yeah,
there.
that one, this one.
Yeah.
I got some more downstairs.
Yeah,
She's super talented. And she comes from a family of artists and just super creative, just interesting. I mean, when she and I hang out, it's so fun because it's like 4 hours. Have you seen this video? Have you seen this artist? Have you seen this building? She gets into colors, which is funny. Like her favorite color combinations at the time for like whatever. That's decor. Cool. She's really into decorating her house, and she's just got like incredible taste, and she's interesting. She's cool.
That'll be a good one.
Yeah, and the things where Johnny was similar and different, and their relationship, and and just the way they raised their children and just all kinds of stuff. Like they're just cool people. I mean, easy to admire. Yeah, so we got her coming. We got John Clements from Proof Research, who was involved in Navy Special Warfare for about 20 years, and a cool guy who I've known for probably 20 years plus. I'm excited about him. And that's an interesting one because there's so many stories, the war stories and that sort of stuff and that time and kind of his life. But then, like retiring from that and going into, our side of the industry and Proof Research before they sort of blew up into this company that they are. And so I'm excited to talk about Proof Research because I use their barrels. I like them.
Yeah, we all do.
Yeah, and that company and kind of what spawned it and why their technology is better. So I'm interested in that.
Yeah.
Who else we got coming?
We got Uncle Todd coming from Tactical Distributors. Todd Askins.
Todd Askins.
Mike from Kilo New York City, or Kilo NYC and Kilo Tactical.
Yeah.
We have Jose.
Oh, Jose.
Yeah.
Jose's coming up.
Yeah, so Jose was mine and Ethan's favorite employee and coworker at Advanced Armament. That is one funny motherfucker. And he just remembers every single thing. That was like his first real job. And so I'm sure it was, and at the time he came to work for us, it was pretty outrageous at Advanced Armament. Like we were just, things were going good for us. We're swimming in money. We did what we wanted. It was a great time. And then he got to see the downfall. He's there, the day they like lead me out at gunpoint. And then, some of the stories from him. And I hope he'll get into it. He's a pretty nice guy, but hopefully he'll tell the stories, of what Remington did and promised after I was gone and how they treated everyone. And, like I know with just one day they show up to work and there's like armed guards at every door telling them they're not fucking entering the building, and so it's just lots of cool stories from him. He's an interesting guy.
He's coming with the CEO of Bergara.
Yeah, the CEO of Bergara, which is he's a super nice guy. And, I'm excited to talk to them as well about, seeing what Bergara's done. And it's like kind of the perfect storm where Remington just totally imploded and gave them this opportunity to step up. And it seems like they've done
Yeah,
it.
they've definitely done it.
Yeah, that gun behind Jay.
Yeah.
That thing's sweet.
Yeah, so that's their new 22, and you can buy it as a barreled action. That one has the carbon fiber wrap barrel, or you can buy their steel barrel, and it drops right into our side chick chassis. That's my favorite 22 now. That thing's so fun. I got the ridiculous Mark 6 3-18 on there because I shoot that thing a couple hundred yards.
Yeah.
Got to have that Horus reticle.
That's true. H59.
So that's pretty interesting. That's a fun gun, but the interesting company. A Spanish company makes tons of barrels they basically make all the barrels for all of Europe, high quality stuff. And, interesting, their approach is different in America than what I would have done. And I think it's another instance where I was wrong. And, they making kind of a full line of products in that category and taking up the slack for Remington. And, so that's pretty cool. He's coming. You mentioned Mike from Kilo Tactical, so I met him on a hunt with Warm Fuzzy and
all the hype dudes.
All the hype dudes. Forward
That looked like a good time, though.
Oh my God. Yeah. So old Texas Matt, me and Matt Gomez went down there and went on an aerial pig hunt. Just I think like southwest of Galveston was it Bay City or Matagorda somewhere?
Yeah.
And we shot so many pigs. Man, Matt shot a bunch of pigs with the mini fix with subsonic expanding ammo from a helicopter. And I was like, why in the world are you doing that? And he's just like,
Because he can.
because he can. He wanted to kick it because he could.
Yeah.
And he did, man. He laid them out. It was so cool to see.
Yeah, there was a lot of cool footage that the guys that were there.
Yeah, Auto Sear.
Yeah, Auto Sear posted a bunch of cool stuff.
Yeah.
Triple Feed.
Such nice guys, man.
The whole group.
Yeah, I didn't know him. I don't want to let on too much to Mike from Kilo Tactical story, but I didn't really kind of understand some of that stuff's going on, probably because I'm older and I know, like at your age and you guys are into that. But he was obviously very different. And then once I got to know him and talked to him, I really admired him, his story, his background being different. And it totally explains their approach to the things that they're doing. And, I like it because, the industry, it's no secret. I do not love the typical industry and marketing that we participate in, and I've always tried to be different. So these guys and these companies that have a different approach and make things interesting and exciting, and he's one of them.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm really excited to hear his story.
It seems like the way they're, marketing their companies, whether it be Warm and Fuzzy, Spirited Systems, Kilo, all those guys, the whole group.
Yeah.
Seems like, and maybe that's just because the algorithm of my social media bubble, but it seems like that's the direction the marketing is going in the industry.
Yeah.
The kind of the cool guy, tactical, skull and crossbones, Punisher logos,
Yeah,
all that bullshit. It's all out.
Yeah.
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 Yeah, and it's very interesting to me because I like being aloof about a lot of our stuff and sometimes can't even explain why. But seeing these groups, like I didn't even know like forward observation what they were doing. I'm like, what a cool bunch of guys. Like I don't understand when I see their marketing. It's just pictures and they don't really have a product. But they just donated $1 million to
Green Beret Foundation.
Yeah, and $100,000 to a firearms policy coalition. Yeah.
Oh, they might be coming
that's
actually at the
right.
end of this month.
Oh, they're coming
Yeah,
too?
Adam Kraut and
What a nice guy.
Pierce.
From
Pierce's last
Firearms?
name, Firearms Policy Coalition.
Oh, that'll
They'll be
be
here on the
interesting.
31st. They're
My
coming to
birthday.
visit. They're in town, and they might be down for a podcast.
So they're coming for my birthday is what you're saying?
Yes, exactly for that exact
Your
reason.
12th birthday, no one cares.
birthday.
But they're
I would love to do. We got to make the podcast happen with them.
they're doing a giveaway with a Honey Badger pistol right now.
Yep.
And if you sign up and do whatever, support FPC to fight Diane Feinstein.
Yeah. The assault weapons ban.
Yeah, they're actually kicking people in the balls.
Yeah.
I like it.
Yeah,
and
it's awesome.
It's super simple. Like we put a link in our email blast.
Yeah.
And it's when you click on the link, like they give you different incremental options for your donation. And all you have to do is just donate whatever.
Donate anything
and it enters you in.
Chance to win.
Yeah.
And so the email blast that went out was on March 23rd, yesterday.
Right.
So
Yeah.
we're a couple weeks behind of this launching, but
Yeah. So what happened? So they're raffling off a Honey Badger pistol. Did you
Yep.
donate one?
yep.
Okay.
Yeah, actually, I think it shipped to them last week or something like that. But
Okay. So it's just like you buy a $10 ticket or you donate.
no, you
it's-
just
it's-
donate to FPC to help support their legal fees or whatever
Yeah.
it's going to be.
Oh, and you're just entered
to
into a-
win.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
Whether it's $1, whatever the increments are, the lowest to the highest.
Yeah.
Whatever you donate, you're entered to win.
Yeah. I think there's like a custom. You can do whatever you want for a donation as far as a value, or they have little buttons for like a 1,
Okay,
5,
I'm
10.
going to do that. I'm going to do that on our break or today.
Yeah, you
So how much so far has it raised?
Last I heard, it was over $50,000 at
Nice.
the middle of March, and this goes all the way through the end of March. So by the time this is on YouTube, it'll be over. But
Yeah, so let's try to get that thing up to like $100,000. That's
Yeah.
cool. Well, it's a good thing because
yeah,
I have very, very extensive experience in the fees of attorneys, and
yeah,
it's not to be taken lightly.
they grow quickly.
Bastards,
Yeah.
but they're cool.
So yeah,
I'll
that's another
support
podcast coming up.
Yeah.
them. That's great.
Yeah.
Yeah,
What?
that trip you went on seemed awesome because I remember even the day before you left, I think like Forward Observations they had posted that they were on their way, and I asked them, "Oh, what are you doing here?" I thought everyone was on their way, and like I leave tomorrow, and I said, "Oh, these dudes are on their way." I just noticed some people, and you were like, I don't think you were familiar with them at the time, and then
I had no idea.
yeah, and then since you came back, like getting to meet all those dudes, you've only had good things to say
Oh,
about all of them. So
They were so awesome.
yeah,
Yeah, it was a great time. I learned a ton, which I love. And it's so interesting going there with like 40 dudes, and I'm the oldest guy.
yeah,
But I was also the only guy that was like really in the firearms industry,
Right.
that owned a gun company or something like that. Because who else was there? Axle, maybe. I think that's a company that
Axel
makes
Advanced, yeah,
like
they make
the
a lot of good stuff.
belts and stuff. And
I think they make a NVG helmet bag.
Yep. Yeah, they do. They make a
Like
lot
a
of
caddy.
Yeah,
they make a
caddy,
lot of like
yeah.
third-party stuff for like adapters for different rigs and stuff like that. A lot of cool stuff.
And I mean, that's how a lot of the companies, I think, start. It's how I started. You start making a little accessory because it's something you can justify and afford. And,
Yep.
I mean, motivated and develop some good stuff, it can grow.
Yeah. I spoke to a few of the guys that were there after the fact, guys that we had never had any affiliation with or anything like that, and it was cool to hear them basically all say similar things. Like, it's no secret that you are a very polarizing person on the internet. And so a lot of the guys talking to them saying like, yeah, of course we've heard this or heard that, oh, he's an asshole or he's this, whatever. And then once they met you, they're like, honestly, everything went out the window. Like, he was humble, he was helpful, super knowledgeable. Like, they were happy to meet you and happy to talk to you. And
That's
it was
awesome.
it was cool to hear all that and just kind of dispel the myths.
Yeah, I love that. I think the internet, the problem is you got a bunch of 22-year-old anonymous little pricks that aren't going to say that shit to my face or anybody's face.
Yeah.
I mean, if I, that's a thing. Maybe it's because I'm old. Like, if I think you're a fucking douche, just like Marty Daniel and that piece of shit tried to talk to me the last time I saw him, like, I'm not fake about it. Like, he's a piece of shit. And he came up to me and acted like he hadn't done things to people that I care about. And I just told him get the fuck out of my face. You don't talk to me. Like, we don't shake hands. I'm not fake about this. I'd rather punch you in the fucking face.
Yeah.
And that's who I am with him. But anybody else, it's like, whatever it is about the silencers or the guns, all that shit, the anonymous the kids that don't know anything, that aren't going to, they're going to hide behind social media. They'll never say anything to you. But yeah, I met all those guys and they had tons of good questions about guns. And part of that is exciting to me. It's like, makes me feel old, but then also I'm excited to share like my experience and knowledge. And, cause I feel like I'm still a student of this, and these guys who are getting into it and they've had this experience in the military or this experience, within the companies that they work at, and would ask questions not knowing. It's just ignorance. They just weren't there. They didn't know. And like, I'm always happy to engage in that stuff.
Yeah. I know. I'm sure a lot of guys were interested, even if they had no desires to mess around with Q stuff before. I know for a fact that guys have posted that the minifix was like the hit of the weekend. Everyone was super excited about it. Like, they're all into the Q stuff now. Like,
if you don't like the minifix, then there's something wrong with you.
Yeah.
I mean, that thing is so cool.
You're lying, basically, is what I feel. If you don't like the minifix.
I thought you were just saying I was lying. And I was
no, no, not about that. You're not lying.
Yeah.
That's a thing too, because you think in that group, especially with like forward observation, those guys, most of the guys there were current military operators or recently out. So, guys that are into all the high speed shit and still young and into that, all of them, like, they might not even understand the minifix, and they pick it up. Oh my God, it's lightweight. Oh, shoot it. Oh my God, that's so quiet. And then we just spend an hour out there, everybody fucking giggling, taking videos and shooting stuff while we're waiting for them to like refuel the helicopter and stuff. Yes, it was a great time, because I can't even really define what's so special about that gun. And I think that could be about a lot of, whether it's talent or there's sometimes you just, I don't know if it's like art, design, in any sort of product too. There's just some things that you can't really verbalize or put your finger on that makes something extraordinary sometimes.
That gun is definitely the epitome of that, because all the time people will post their minifix or something, and you'll see one person be like, why? Oh, precision gun with that short of a barrel. And it's like, you have no idea what you're talking about.
Yeah.
Just grab on. Like, there's not even any point in trying to explain it, because as soon as you touch it and as soon as you shoot it, you're like, I get it.
Yeah. I think with my career really beginning in silencers, that was really the sales pitch. Like, I can't explain to you the Grand Canyon.
Right.
Like, it's a big hole in the fucking ground. Who cares? Like, go look at it.
Yeah.
And I think, with silencers are just a cylinder, and it's mostly kind of marketing and bullshit, and everybody lies about all the stuff inside. But it's just a muffler that goes on your gun. That's all it is. But when people have never shot a gun with a silencer, then they do. Like, there is no sales pitch. That is the sales pitch. All you have to do is touch it.
Yeah, it's the experience.
Well, what you just said about the silencer thing too.
I didn't say anything about silencers.
Well, the experience of shooting a silencer.
Sure. Yeah.
It's like,
Jesus.
Sorry.
Have some more coffee, Mr. Confrontational.
because recently,
What was that you said about Marty Daniel?
Fuck that guy. We're friends, though.
but recently we took
We can't both have my attitude.
Tommy
There
shot
can only be one.
Tommy shot a silenced gun for the first time fairly recently, and like, I imagine you had a good time doing so. Yeah, like and a couple people with us had never shot anything suppressed either, and you see it on TV, and we talked about it in earlier episodes where there's definitely a disconnect. Like, it's not like that, but you shoot it, and there are certain things like the honey badger with a trash panda, or the minifix with a thunder chicken. Like, it's almost TV quiet, and it's like, this is insane. It's just
It just, I don't, for people, a lot of people love golf, but if golf were incredibly loud and scary and it slapped you in the face every time you hit a golf ball, it would not be as popular.
Yeah.
And so golf is really like shooting with a silencer. You can talk to your friends. You can bullshit. It's not scary. There's no explosion in your face.
Yeah.
I think you can also go drinking and driving with no cops on the golf course.
I don't think you do that on the flat range.
No.
Yeah.
No.
I don't know.
That's one reason I like golf.
Can drink and drive at my farm. Fuck the police.
I think that the whole idea, I mean, it opens up a whole door for an entirely different discussion, but the idea of like it should be so much easier and more accessible to get silencers, especially for new shooters. Like taking out, I mean, you always see
so ridiculous.
You always see people like, this is a new shooter, they never shot a gun, I'm going to start them with a 22 because it's not intimidating. There's no recoil, it's pretty quiet, whatever. But if you could shoot a 5.56, well, still pretty loud, but like you could shoot 300 blackout with a can, someone that's never shot before, you give it to your daughter, your wife, whatever, and they're not going to wig out.
Well, I have several things to say, as usual. The fact in this day and age where everyone feels assaulted by every fucking thing in the world, the fact that we don't recognize firearms as being noise pollution and a risk to your health for hearing, or it's probably, oh my God, like the people actually affected by, hearing damage is way more than any potential gun violence. But that it's not considered a muffler where every other thing in the world in this country, pollution is such a big deal now in every regard, except noise. Fuck that if it's a gun. But, every other thing that makes a lot of noise, the government mandates it has a muffler, and that we're still being so fucking archaic that it's not considered that for a firearm. Like, you're only going to want that. Like, if you have a silencer on your gun, you're definitely going to start shooting your neighbors and their pets. Like, it's so asinine.
And it's going to make it more effective to do so.
That's a soundbite for the media.
Yeah.
Well,
but I think there's definitely a missed opportunity with. So the military's transitioning to silencers across the board very slowly, but they're getting there.
I mean, I've been hearing it for 20 years, but yeah.
Right. But I mean, we talked about in the last podcast, the Marine Corps is actually trying to give every infantry guy a silencer, which is crazy.
That. God bless the Marines.
Yeah, it's awesome. But like for law enforcement, local law enforcement with a handgun, like the fact that they're professionals, they are in a professional work environment, OSHA applies to their lifestyle. And so noise pollution and hearing damage, if OSHA were to get involved somehow and make that a certified hearing protection or noise pollution, whatever it's going to be, I think there's an opportunity there to trickle into the civilian market.
Well, I would hate the idea of it not being protected by NFA with us having this nutcase in the White House now. But, yeah, I mean, here in this super rich bougie town of Exeter that I live in, the fucking cops here shoot skunks in town between the, the old mansions with 5.56, no silencers.
Yeah.
We offered them silenced 22 rifles just because I live here and I wanted to hook them up. Like, stop shooting 5.56 at 6 a.m. between houses, idiots. And they turned it down. Yeah. And in return asked for us to donate them fixed rifles. Like assholes. But,
yeah, I mean, Fish and Game uses silencers.
Anybody reasonable does.
Reasonable, so.
I think even some places, like, I've watched this, like, I think he's a professional shooter in South Africa. And I think he was saying, like, obviously it's different there than here, but when you buy a gun, it's encouraged that you buy
it's an accessory.
Right.
Everywhere else in the world where it's easy to obtain reasonable to obtain firearms, silencers are just kind of a given accessory, which is the way it should be.
Yeah, absolutely.
Another thing you said that I want to address.
Here we go.
5.56 being loud. I agree, normally. So on that trip, I took some Surefire, their SOCOM can,
RC.
For guys to try out. And so we had 12.5 inch. We had this little gun with our new brace on it there. And with the Trash Panda, our titanium 30 caliber silencer with cherry bomb. And we had some with a Surefire flash hider. Guys wanted to shoot those. That's what they experienced in the military. And so we're hanging out there where we were shooting, and one of the guys picks up one of those guns, and he shoots about 20 feet behind me. And I thought he shot a 5.56 without a silencer. It was so fucking loud. Hurt my ears that far away, scared the shit out of me. I turn around, and I'm like, God, that thing sucks. And little Mike from Kilo Tactical, he picked up one of our guns, maybe this gun, maybe one of the Sugar Weasel versions, 12.5 inch with the Trash Panda on it.
That gun behind you.
Oh, yeah.
The Sugar Weasel. Yeah.
No, it was a 5.56 longer one.
Oh, yeah.
Anyway, it was 100 times quieter.
Oh yeah, you shot the
It is
5.56 with the Trash Panda.
the Trash Panda on 5.56 is unbelievably quiet. Which we had some questions about the Lefty that's coming out. So it's basically going to be that in stainless steel. Very similar. Probably go a little shorter. But it's literally the Surefire can is terrible back pressure. It's so loud it sucks. And there's a million better silencers for consumer use, including the Trash Panda for 5.56. That's why in your box with the Trash Panda or Thunder Chicken, there's a cherry bomb threaded half 28. That's to go in your AR. Shoot 5.56 through it. Trust me, it's good. It's really good. So that was interesting. That's the best demo you can do because everybody's it's Surefire. It's so good. They got them good lights. They got them. Yeah. They say it's a SOCOM sound. We saw it in the military. Now, bam, bam, and then with the Trash Panda.
So why do you think that is, the Trash Panda versus the Surefire SOCOM, whatchamacallit?
They use a very simple baffle, which is not very efficient. They're 1.5 inch diameter, where this is 1 3/4. Yeah. They have an outer tube. So what that is doing is increasing your wall thickness. So that's shrinking your internal volume. Yeah. So this has almost 50% more internal volume. And we even use a larger bore, obviously. This has got a bore that's very suitable for 30 caliber, where they're running a tighter bore. And so you're getting more noise out your action and more noise out the muzzle. They just don't have the volume. And the great thing about the volume is then you don't need, you increase the volume so your pressure is way lower. And so it doesn't need to be as overbuilt. They can say, those are built for full, blah, 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 blah. Like you have to build it that tough if you're reducing the amount of volume because your pressure is higher. That means the temperature gets higher in the silencer and it just takes more abuse. This takes far less abuse because we're allowing the gas to expand and more of it to go out the muzzle because we have a larger bore and we have a more efficient baffle design.
The Surefires are going on like 10.5 inch 5.56 4/16s or whatever it is. Other than material selection of the Surefire versus the Trash Panda, is there any other reason to go with the Surefire?
I mean, just if you want to be a cool fucking cloner. And they have to resort to those materials because of the things we talked about. If we reduce the internal volume of this by 50%, we would have to resort to some different materials and manufacturing methods so that it would be durable enough to withstand it. And that's what people don't understand. And they need to understand. They are handicapping themselves from the beginning, so they're having to compensate for it with materials and different things. We don't have to do that because we thought about the design ahead of time. And two, I mean, all that is an Ops Inc. silencer. They put a different mount on. I mean, that's, 35-year-old technology. I mean, they're not. Surefire is a great company. They build great lights, great products. And the Surefire can is fine, but I would never have one other than I wanted to have what the military bought. And it's not one of these instances where it's like, something incredible that the military's developed.
It was sufficient enough for them for the job or for the requirement that they needed.
And if you don't write a good requirement, you're not going to get a good product.
Right.
Yeah, we've talked about it in the past. It's like, if you want better, change the requirement.
Yeah. Yeah. And I mean, for the record too, like I shoot my 6.5 fix with 22-inch barrel through a Trash Panda, and it's not bad at all. I think it's quieter.
So good.
Yeah, I think it's quieter than shooting 5.56 with a RC2 or SOCOM, whatever.
Yeah. Well, okay. So back to the hunt for a minute. We went on the hunt. I used the Honey Badger SD and the Sugar Weasel. We shot tons of pigs. It was so fun. It was Ashcraft
Aviation. Ashcraft Aviation.
Are you sure?
Pretty sure.
Okay.
We'll confirm in the show notes.
Yeah. It's a little R44. You can have 3 people with you, so 2 shooters and a camera guy or 3 shooters or whatever. It was a great time. We shot so many pigs. It's beautiful there. You're on the water. Tons of land. It was a great place. It's a great time with those guys.
Why don't we get a Q helicopter?
I don't know. Why don't you just work on showing up the podcast on time? Maybe I need to get you a fucking helicopter to make it here. You were 12 minutes late.
I don't think we were. I also didn't drive.
That doesn't work for a flight plan.
I also don't see a watch on you.
I got a phone.
You should have called somebody to get you here sooner.
I use the old finger trick on the sun.
Explain that.
It doesn't work until the sun's going down, but the whole each finger's about 15 minutes.
Good talk, bro.
I'll fly the Q helicopter. Don't worry.
No, no.
The problem is we had
No,
this
you won't.
conversation before the podcast,
That's true.
and it
But
was way better.
But I genuinely want to know your reasoning. It doesn't. I get it's cooler to flex.
So I'm
like,
gonna get a plane, and you want me
Plane or a jet?
either way.
a jet,
A jet plane.
and you want me to make you the pilot.
Yes.
Explain to me how this makes sense because you were in the Air Force.
That's the only reason.
Well, it's in our blood. First of all, we
We
aim high. We fly. We fight, and allegedly we win.
All right. Okay. Well, let's stop you there.
Allegedly?
Sometimes.
So how many planes do you fly in the Air Force?
In the Air Force, 0.
Okay. Well, if you had such great pilot potential, why did they let you out of the Air Force?
Because I wasn't a pilot. If they knew that I was flying, they would have been like,
Oh.
"No, please stay."
Well, why weren't you a pilot in the Air Force? Don't they test you guys?
Yeah. Well, no. They don't just. I said, listen, I'm probably the best pilot you've ever seen, but don't worry, I'll go build bombs instead. I know you guys need some help doing this. I'll go build bombs
Okay.
instead.
Well,
So
when Q starts making bombs,
I'll help you.
we'll
out.
give you an opportunity. Put you in
Yeah.
charge of that.
Exactly. But also, if you have a plane, why, other than just to flex, why would you go? Because your reasoning before was, I'm going to hire a professional pilot.
Yeah, because
If
I
I
want
go
to
to-
survive.
If I go to pilot, if I get my pilot's license, if I go to school, I went to the same school that guy did. So what's the difference between him and me other than I have better hair than him? I'm probably way cooler. And I was in the Air Force.
12 minutes late to a podcast.
I didn't drive. See, if I was flying, I would have been here early. It's the average cost is anywhere from $4,000 to $15,000 for your private pilot's license. It's 40 hours. I could do it in a week.
Yeah, that's not for a jet rating.
It's a private. Oh, I'm pretty sure you can.
Yeah, I don't think so.
No, you're right. It's single engine.
yeah.
Okay, but then I do another few hours.
Few hours.
Flight school in Hampton.
They've got one in Sanford too.
You know, here's what I tell my kids. It's like if you really wanted it, you'd have already done it or figured it out on your own.
Well, I
you wouldn't
didn't
come to
think
me
of-
for money.
But
No,
now he
you
has
know,
now he has a customer
Yeah, there's
in
impetus.
mind.
There's
This is a
this was
business
just like
strategy.
this will be a fun hobby. I'll just fly around.
Yeah, I think it's totally cool for me to buy a $7 million plane for you to have a hobby.
Well, no, before it was a hobby. Now
it's a job.
exactly, and you don't have
Potential.
to buy the plane. If you you'd be better off having the pilot because then you just rent out the plane. You don't have to do any of the. You don't have to pay for any of the maintenance. You don't have to store it. Nothing.
Sure.
You just have the pilot
Sure.
in your pocket.
Yeah.
Me.
Yeah. Seems you got it figured out.
I used to build aircraft motors.
You did?
You don't want to be in an aircraft
No, I
more than you
agree.
have to be.
I have been in an aircraft so much in my life.
Yeah.
I did learn to fly single engine. So
Yeah, I mean, I could
on
do
my
it.
own,
I
I
could
didn't wait for somebody to give it to me.
Well, yeah, I'm sure I could just go figure it out.
I'm sure you could.
But
They all fly themselves now.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
easy.
yeah,
All right. So,
if someone sent me to flight school,
Jesus Christ.
it's not that bad. I'm just gonna do it. I'm just gonna do it, and I'm gonna show up and say, "Hey, Kevin,
Yeah, we'll
I've
see.
got my pilot's license. Adam and I are gonna go fly, and we're
Nope.
gonna bring Tommy."
Nope.
Well, we'll see you when you get there.
Okay.
Have fun on Delta.
We got to get a pilot on the podcast. Set the record
We have
straight.
to get a pilot just in general.
Do you think if we have a pilot on the podcast, he can just
that doesn't make you a
he can
pilot.
just teach he can just teach me, and then I'm good.
Yeah.
I was in the Air Force. I
This
talked to a
mentality.
pilot. I'm
I
good.
sat next to him. I know what he did. Come
Yeah,
on.
That's what is it? Osmosis.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just lean up against him.
Yeah.
It's all good. All right. Well, I'm getting pissed off, so let's move along.
Well, you talked about the trash panda for a second. We get the question all the time.
Yeah.
What? How many rounds? What's the life cycle of a trash panda?
Yeah, and I think it's all firing schedule. People think titanium. You can shoot the titanium silencers on short barrels, and cherry bomb being like a sacrificial blast chamber, stainless steel is way better. Like if this thing touches 800 degrees, it doesn't disintegrate. You know, titanium is stronger at ambient temperature. At 800 degrees, loses most of its strength. But you don't get to 800 degrees instantly. I actually don't even know if I have a 10.5 inch 5.56 right now, but I have these 12-inch guns. Like, I honestly don't even care about getting the lefty now because this is like all I do, and this thing is just as light. This is going to be a little longer than the lefty is. But yeah, I'm not going out there.
I'm all about making wild claims, but I'm going to not make any wild claims and say that these people that are asking aren't high-speed operator at the range every day. But the average person is not going to even touch the end of the lifespan of their silencer. Like You're
No.
really going out there and shooting thousands of rounds every single day.
You wear this thing out. We cut off your baffle core and we re-weld a new one to your mount that's engraved.
Yeah.
Like, I welcome you to wear this out on a 10-inch 5.56. Go bananas.
Yeah.
Let's see it. Like, fine. I'll give you a new baffle core. We'll take care of you. Whatever.
People ask about cleaning them a lot too.
They clean themselves.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's exactly right. You don't need to clean a rifle silencer. There's just so much stuff, whether it's the flow through shit and, that stuff's loud. It's heavy. It's not durable. There's some aspects to it that could make sense, but just overall thinking, flow through technology. What's that mean? We use a larger bore than normal. It's a 30 caliber plus bore on a 5.56. That's flow through in and of itself, right out the bore. So all you're trying to do is reduce the shit that comes out the ejection port into your face. And this accomplishes that by having huge volume and a large bore. Vented baffles. It is flow through. Just because we don't advertise it as flow through, and OSS, they have baffles. No matter what they say, those are fucking baffles. You can rename it all you want. Still a baffle.
The fireball that comes out of those things too is pretty wild. Like, I think people just it may be a lack of education on everyone's part, but like, I think people, when they think of I'm going to get my first can, they're just focused on sound reduction, or they're just focused on one aspect of it. I just want sound reduction, or I just want whatever. And I don't think they like a very large reason for a suppressor is flash mitigation. And with those flow throughs and you get this massive fireball at the end, like,
but is it for consumers?
No, I don't think it is for consumers.
But I mean, that's the thing people get into. Okay, is this full auto rated? Do you have a full auto? What about flash? Are you shooting at night a lot?
Right.
There's just practical things. And I think there's so much bullshit marketing and silencers, and partly because of what I touched on earlier, it's just a cylinder with some stuff in it. So you have to make stuff up to make it sexy until someone shoots it. And focusing on one aspect, the Surefire can, for instance, they get carbon lock with those. The mounting system is not optimum. And in their manual, if it gets carbon lock stuck on there, you disengage the latch, you fire a live round, you launch the can, you go pick it up.
Yeah,
that's bullshit.
Yeah, you just reposted a video of Slade from GBRS Group. I think it was Slade shot one downrange, and I assume it was just to take it off. I don't think it just failed on him, but yeah, that's a little scary to me.
I mean, it's just bad design and engineering. And so for me, like, what do I think the future of silencers are? I mean, why are we so popular? White Claw, huh? Was that watermelon? What you got? Tangerine? Little tangerine.
Nice.
Get after it. He weighs 120 pounds, so they work.
34, son.
What'd you say, 134?
And a half.
Damn, bulking up.
Ain't no way. I mean, that's a size 00 jean he's got on.
33.
No way. Must be with the 1911 appendix or something. I don't know.
Maybe.
About 43X.
So, taking all these things into consideration, what's a simple mount? How do we keep the mounts minimal cost? How do we make the things that are important? I don't want to notice the silencer on the gun until I shoot and it's quiet. And whether it's back pressure, sound reduction, flash mitigation, all of these factors, that's what we're trying to incorporate. Like, trying to be the quietest. Can we build the quietest? Yeah, but where's the quietest? Is it at your ear, or is it at mill standard, or is it 10 meters forward of the muzzle? I think we're beyond playing those sorts of games.
Yeah.
It's like, I have shot enough silencers to know I want everyone to have a good experience when they shoot with a silencer, and that's kind of what we designed towards. And so a lot of this fucking nonsense, I don't see too many of our silencers getting broken. If you break one, you get a new one, or we fix yours.
Yeah.
Whatever. Who cares?
You guys touched on it a little bit too before, about direct thread versus quickie mount, that kind of thing. And before I worked at Q, I had the idea of, I was kind of in the same camp of like, quick detach is really cool, like the Surefire collar, like tri-lug and all that stuff. And I remember very vividly within my first like week or two, Nick saying, "Yeah, but once you put a can on it, you're never gonna just buy multiple cans. You're never gonna take the can off."
Yeah.
And it's so real.
All that is to seem cool, like guys in the military.
Yeah.
And them doing it. I mean, I remember when we won the 338 contract about 10 or 12 years ago, and they wanted fast attach. And this is like for their sniper rifles to shoot a fucking mile. It's like, why in the world would you want fast attach? That's never a thing. We're only going to use the silencer 20% of the time. I was like, all right, well, you're the one out there shooting people, not me, but I'm calling bullshit. And that's exactly what happened. They use them 100% of the time.
Yeah.
But they still have a fast attach mount. They have all that weight, that extra shit. We could have eliminated a whole tolerance stack by just tapering the barrel, putting the silencers on there, and so you got guys that go 15 years having fast attach silencers when they never needed it. And part of that is the relationship with companies and these organizations, and establishing that kind of trust.
I think the only reason to use a fast attached silencer as a civilian, some states you can own a silencer but you can't hunt with it, right? So maybe you want to use your brake in the woods when you're hunting versus a bare muzzle or something like that.
Yeah.
Well,
100%.
I like this. I tend to use the Trash Panda even more than like the Half Nelson, which I love, because it depends on what I'm doing. But I can move this from a 308 to a 556 very easily.
Yeah.
And that makes it beneficial for me.
Sure. Yeah, that's fair.
Yeah, because I've got probably 10 guns that I shoot a fair amount, and I don't know. I don't want to have 10 silencers. I guess I don't know why, but I do move my silencers around some, and that's the only thing. But if I had like the old AAC mount or the Surefire mount or any of these other companies where they have a 4-ounce, what are they called? Dead air, where they have that chemo or whatever, that big fucking heavy 8-ounce mount. I would never do that, but that's why we designed this. The Cherry Bombs is lighter than an A2 flash hider, and you don't have a secondary latch and all these other parts, and that doesn't get stuck on there. It's just very simple and easy. So I use that.
Yeah.
All right, so let's turn it up a little bit.
Turn it up.
So I watched something last night that reminded me of many things.
Of me, hopefully.
It did, because I have a question for you. Okay, since you're in a band, I heard, are you benched now? I don't know.
No.
Did they find a new?
No, I only got benched.
Y'all got a new bassist? Yeah.
Oh, good. I can move on.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Who personifies rock and roll to you?
Ooh, the greatest rock star ever is Keith Richards.
Wrong. What about you, Adam?
Okay.
Because I know it's surprising why you like fucking death metal.
Yeah. Well, I like everything.
Yeah, okay.
I don't have an answer. I don't know.
Oh, you like
No.
all music? Name
Tommy-
every song in the world.
Tommy will agree with my choice.
Well, if you're going to tell me
Prince.
yeah, it's Prince.
It's
But
absolutely not
Prince is the
Prince.
greatest artist of all time.
No, I didn't fucking say Prince. You said Prince. I did not say Prince.
No,
Elvis or Johnny Cash.
No.
Idiots.
They are?
Idiots. Elvis is pretty cool. Johnny Cash just talked.
All right. Well,
He was a fucking
who is
rock
it,
star.
Kevin?
so I'm going to preface this too.
It's Keith Richards, but who is it?
Who? Okay, shift gears one more time, kind of. Who's your dream woman?
Dream Woman?
Yeah, I mean you
God.
or man, whatever.
Well, I don't know about Dream Man off the top of my head. Dream Woman? Oh, man. I don't know. Do you have one?
Yeah, my wife.
Oh.
Smart answer. That's my. I actually have mine. Like
don't
Ivana,
know.
she is. But if she got hit by a bus tomorrow, you know who mine is, and it covers both categories.
Oh. Lita Ford.
I feel like Jake.
That is very close because she was also in the Runaways. But 1981 Joan Jett is the
Ooh.
greatest rock star. And if I had a time machine and Ivana left, I would convert her to liking Men or Me.
The
But
early,
she personifies rock and roll. She is the greatest rock star of all time.
Tommy disagrees.
Yeah, I disagree.
Joan Jett, are you serious?
Kinda
Who's your
corny.
pick?
Greatest
Yeah.
Keith Richards.
Who?
Ooh, Dave
Dave
Grohl.
Grohl,
He's
yeah.
just like the coolest
Really?
dude ever. I loved it.
Seen him live.
He's legit.
Tommy and I have.
Dave Grohl live.
Is that rock and roll?
Intoxicating.
Yeah, it's
He
rock and
played
roll,
drums for Nirvana.
which wasn't
That's a
rock and roll.
joke.
Okay.
No, I mean,
Well, it wasn't.
I just
Was
think
it?
rock
Grunge.
star like
grunge, yeah.
Joan Jett's not.
I feel
She was
like
a chick like Sid and Nancy were her best friends. She gives no fucks.
Dave Grohl played
Great voice.
every
She,
instrument.
like attacked every song.
I feel like
Dave
I
Grohl
like
is
I like Tina.
He's an
Weymouth.
incredible artist. He's one of the best artists.
Well, Foo Fighters' first album.
but he is not the greatest rock star
Yeah.
of all time.
Pretty damn close.
He ain't Joan
Go
Jett.
read Keith Richards' book and tell me he's not the greatest rock
Keith
star of all
Richards is probably one of the greatest personalities of all time. But yeah. Quite the, you okay?
Blackout? What happened?
You all right?
time. Blacked out in the booth.
Book
Oh, shit.
booking your next flight.
But so yeah, next flight class.
Yeah.
Do you see? I understand why you're saying Joan Jett, but I feel like it's a facade.
Can I be honest and say I don't know who Joan Jett is?
Joan Jett.
You don't?
Rock and roll.
Oh, okay.
Okay. Yeah.
Wow.
Thanks, Tommy. Tommy's a
I
singer.
like.
He got turned.
I like Tina
Yeah.
Weymouth.
See, Joan
more than
Jett
Joan
does
Jett.
that to you.
Joan Jett's like so overtly like telling you, "Oh, I'm punk." We get it. Like I don't like how poignant she is.
Nirvana was like,
That's
"Oh, I'm all
ridiculous.
grunge."
Did you know Lita Ford was in The Runaways with Joan Jett before Joan Jett went solo?
I didn't know that. No.
Yeah.
Do you like Tina Weymouth?
Who's that?
Talking Heads.
Oh. Yeah.
I think she's talking.
It's like
Right.
if it's Talking Heads, like I didn't know there was
Yeah,
a
but
chick,
she's like
they
cool,
got
and then they
all
did
weird.
they're super weird. I don't know.
I don't like that
liked-
European weird
I
shit.
liked early 90s Dolores O'Riordan, like from the Cranberries. I thought she was so cool.
Yeah, she was wonderful. Yeah, the Cranberries were great.
And she died like a rock star too.
Oh, she did?
Got too lit in the bathtub and drowned.
Oh,
Rip.
that's tragic.
Yeah, it's a little sad.
All right. Well, so you're wrong about a lot
Keith
of things.
Richards. All right.
All right.
Will there be braces for 8-6?
There already is one.
Well, people always ask like,
yeah, when
do
the,
I have to form my?
in the well, if you bought a rifle, a fixed rifle, you are going to have to form it to put a shorter barrel on it.
Right.
You can't just stick a brace on a rifle and it be a pistol. Only the other way around because the ATF is very logical.
Well, but are we gonna sell?
8.6 will probably launch as the 12 and some change inch barrel with a brace.
Right. But for people who do want to just get the
16-inch
barrel.
16-inch.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay. I didn't know we were doing a 16-inch 8.6.
All right, fuckers. Got my glasses on so I can see my notes. We can get through some stuff.
See your nose?
I can see through your bullshit better now too.
No bullshit.
Which I
here.
really didn't need these for that.
No bullshit here.
Anyway, this was pretty interesting. Someone wanted to know how they could get a blue cheek riser for their fixed rifle.
Oh.
What's your answer, Adam?
Buy a 3
On their gun or on a gun they already own?
On a gun they already own.
Donate something to Sock F, send us proof, and we'll send it to you.
That is a great answer. I like that answer.
Yeah.
You got a different one, Jay?
No, that was better than anything I could have come up with.
Or FPC. Your choice.
Oh yeah, you could send us a bunch of booze.
Yep. So you can, Adam is the CEO and he's very professional. So you can donate to these charities that fight for gun rights and for, benefits for wounded veterans. Or you can send us booze. So any of those things probably get you a little cheek riser is what I'm thinking.
Mm-hmm.
What about you, Jay? You agree with that? Thumbs up there,
Thumbs
Top
up.
Gun?
Yeah, you want to send me to flight school too?
Yeah.
I'll get you a cheek
okay,
riser.
so we got-
That's a good point. Yeah,
yeah,
that's legit.
give me
Yeah,
some
that-
classes to flight school, and I will give you a cheek riser.
I would rather have bourbon, honestly.
You don't have to fly. with
Hampton
me.
Airfield in New Hampshire has flight school classes.
Yep, and Sanford, Maine.
You're really hooked on Sanford.
Got 20
Maine.
Well,
bucks.
it's like I'm like equidistant. Right
20
in between.
bucks says he can't pass.
20 bucks?
Yeah.
$100 says you can.
Yeah.
Okay,
Are you?
I'll take it.
$2,000 says he can.
Yeah, Tommy knows me.
I know you too.
Yeah, you know me too.
I just said you would.
I know. Honestly,
Well, I need to look at the curriculum. If they have, if you're late 3 times, you're booted out. I'm totally in this.
okay.
So we bombed Syria, and a Syrian shot up a grocery store.
Yeah, so it's definitely AR-15.
Definitely Gun's fault.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway,
I don't know. I mean, it sucks. Like, that's a tough one. But I don't know. Are they? He drove there in a Chrysler Caravan.
Oh.
Are we gonna ban those?
He was already on the FBI's radar
Because
too.
minivans will hold a lot of guns. I feel like we should ban those.
Yeah.
Fuck soccer moms. Like,
I would love
Biden,
to.
pull your head out of your ass. Jay's got the soccer mom's handle. You get rid of those minivans because they carry ammo and firearms.
Yeah.
Douchebag.
It's funny how the conversations aren't what they should be.
No, it's
Also-
also such bullshit.
I love my favorite part was that the same voices that were screaming about defunding and disbanding police last night on the news were saying we need to. They were join us in mourning this great hero, the officer that died. Like, you're the same people that a few months ago were saying all cops are bad, get rid of them, all this stuff. Just
Yeah,
I don't understand.
we've become a society of extremes and knee-jerk reactions.
be
and it's
consistent.
just
That's all I
sucks.
ask. Just be consistent. If you have a position, that's awesome. If you hate all cops, good for you. You better always hate all cops. Don't change every day.
I don't know. I don't hate all of anything.
Well, I
I
wasn't
personally
saying.
do not love law enforcement, and I would rather them never come to my house again. I will handle shit that goes on here. Thank you very much.
But you're consistent.
Yeah.
And my dad's a cop. I don't want cops coming to my house.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's just a natural.
Your
My
dad-
dad's also
your
a cop,
dad's
and
awesome to me.
I've
And your dad, he sells me my weed, so that's totally a joke. I
No, I am
don't
in
smoke
the
weed,
same
but if I
boat.
did, I would get it from Jay's dad. I mean,
What is
just
his dad-
fucking look at him.
What does your dad do in Maine?
he is the commander for Maine Drug Enforcement Agency.
Access, that's all I'm saying.
Yeah.
No.
No, I'm the same way. I don't want cops coming to my house, and I don't really want to get. I get pulled over fairly frequently, and
Why? Because of how you look.
I think it's racial profiling.
Yeah,
He's late, so he's
so.
speeding.
that's true.
I think it's racial
Yeah.
profiling.
Adam,
Yeah.
would the current Honey Badger
hmm
have won the LVAW contract over the MCX?
I think so. I think it would. It's the twist rates are equivalent now
Yep.
at the 1 and 5, so we hit that accuracy requirement. Definitely hit the sound requirement. It's significantly lighter.
Pounds lighter.
It's still more reliable, if not more reliable.
Yep.
So yeah, I definitely think it would.
Yeah, I concur.
Yeah.
All right.
I like
Even
that.
compared to the current MCX.
Yeah.
Not the LVAW M6, but the current one. With all the improvements, I still think the Honey Badger's better. For the intended purpose.
Yeah.
I saw. I'm assuming it was you that responded to the comment, but it was probably a couple months ago. But people were referring to that MCX, the LVAW MCX, as just the gun, the LVAW, and I think it was you that responded. Was like LVAW was a program,
Mhm.
like, and I like that.
Yeah.
People kind of misconstrue.
Ask me how I know.
Oh, how do you know?
Yeah, because
Maybe I was there and helped name it.
Those guns didn't say LVAW on the side of them.
Yeah. So, all right. Well, that's what I thought. All right. And for those listening, yes, 8.6 does not go in the minifix for the 400th time. It goes in a 308 magazine and a short action, not a long action. It is 300 blackout for 308 base guns. Period.
Hey, also while we're here, we've talked about it before, and I get people are just trying to reach out however they can. But if you have a question on like orders, ETAs, things like that, go to info@liveqordie.com. Send Jen an email. Like, if I have a question
they
about
shouldn't text me.
no, don't
Yeah.
text and I don't ask Target in their DMs like, hey, you guys got any underwear in stock? Like, why would you go to our DMs on I feel like it's because we're active and we respond to people, but that kind of stuff, not being a dick, but we can't help you. Go to through the proper channels.
Yeah. I mean,
we can help you, but we're going to go through those same channels.
Right.
yeah. I
And
mean,
9
it
times
just
out of 10, I'm
adds
gonna forward you.
confusion, complexity, and it makes it harder for everyone. I mean, for people watching, I do not own a computer. I don't even own a computer.
He just found out about YouTube last year.
Yeah, I have no access to our intranet. I can't look up your order. I'm never going to do it. I don't care to. If the place is on fire, I can help with something. Other than that, like, I don't even have a computer. I'm
Yeah.
not looking your damn order up.
For the best customer service experience, go to info@liveqordie.com. Don't go through Don't DM us on Facebook and Instagram and wait for us to give you a half-assed response while we're chasing down the real answer, and then we forget to get back to you because we have 100 other DMs to answer.
Right.
Go straight to info. Jen will hook you up with the answer. If she doesn't know the answer, she knows exactly who to ask.
Yeah. If you just want to shoot the shit and that's what you're like that,
Yeah.
that's
Yeah.
cool. Be in the DMs
Meet
with
Jay
that,
at
but-
flight class.
Yeah, you come to flight class. I'll answer all your questions.
Yeah, or just jay@livecuredie.com.
Ah, here we go.
Did you see this new little piece of swag I got here?
I did see that.
See
Is that a
that?
new shirt?
Geronimo with the fix.
I like
New
that.
shirt.
He's got some nice hands.
Yeah, I think it's one of the girls at the office did the hands right. So allegedly these are going to be on the website right now.
By the time this airs,
Yeah.
So I like it. It's cool.
Native American representation.
You guys get off your asses. We'll even have some posters and stuff of this. This was a cool piece of art.
Yep.
Very good. What else? So we're turning this marketing department up a little bit. It's getting turned.
yeah, we have a drone now.
You have a drone.
Drone's fucking sick.
We're going to have some new swag. We're going to have some hoodies. Going to have some hats. We're going to have some shit, or I am going to flip this motherfucking table. You hear me there, Captain?
Yeah, I'm
Hold on,
listening
hold
to
on.
you.
Okay, go for it.
I'm listening to you. I'm in charge of
I
zero
pulled a hammy
shirts.
yesterday. I slammed at the skate park. It was very hard.
Not fun anymore.
It's fun till I fall.
That's what I mean.
And, I
That's
mean,
the
it was
fun.
like it was like the hand of God body slam yesterday. It hit a little wet spot in the pool and bam. Fortunately, it was in the transition. I did not hit my head, but I have some incredible bruising going on underneath these clothes. Let me just assure you. I mean, I could show you if
I'll
you're
take a
really
look.
interested.
I'll take a look.
All right. All right. Somebody else had a question about life cycle of the honey badger operating spring. What would you say?
5,000 rounds.
5,000? Yeah, I
Yeah.
would say 5 to 10,000 rounds. I mean,
Yeah.
typically, most small arms, your recoil or operating springs are 5,000
Yeah.
round life. And I don't think people realize that. They are is cool. You get that big giant spring and everything, so you typically can go long with that.
Mm-hmm.
But that's the most significant one I know.
Yeah, I mean, the recoil spring in the honey badger takes a pretty quick set, to its, I don't want to call it its final length or something like that, but it
Yeah.
does break in relatively quickly, and then it stays strong for,
Yeah.
quite a while.
Yeah.
Along those same lines, carriers.
Carriers.
People ask about our carriers in general and whether we make them or anything like
Why?
that.
Why do people ask that? You think?
I don't know.
Like,
Well, I
when
think-
people say, "Oh, you're a carrier. Who makes them? Do you make?" Like, I get
yeah.
that a lot. Like,
Yeah, I don't know.
Noveski or Arrow.
People like to have spares of shit, and if they can buy an extra one, then
Yeah.
they're gonna do that.
You think it's what it is?
And there was
Must be.
there was the craze of like the nickel boron thing and everything. Like there was a period of time where people cared a lot about their carrier.
I mean, the carrier is kind of bullshit. It's like, here's a situation with the carrier. So Stoner designed the carrier in the 50s and then early 60s when he had limited alloys, and he had to use a lot of different processes, honing and grinding, and then hard chrome and stuff that we don't need now. Stoner wouldn't do it the same way if he were doing it now with alloys and manufacturing methods. So we keep running into this. And so we're designing our own. And we needed advantages. We needed to be able to, there's several things we needed. Outside processing is a bitch. So if we need to send it for hard chroming, grinding, and honing, because EPA, OSHA's getting involved in all this stuff as well. So it makes it more difficult. It causes lag time. And it's not the way it would be done, like the MCX carrier. It's not done that way because we have modern alloys and manufacturing techniques, and it wasn't necessary. And we end up with a better carrier, I think, in the MCX. So that's what we're taking on now, because we also want to be able to do a honey badger and full auto and 5.56. So we've designed a manufacturing carrier, which you guys are aware of, and it's in 2 pieces, and allows us to do the back piece in different materials and also add anti-bolt bounce stuff for 5.56 and full auto and things like that. So that's an improvement, and we'll be able to hold tolerances better and without relying on outside processes, which at times can be a huge clusterfuck and bottleneck.
Well, not just the process, but just like us designing our own trigger, it's a supply chain strategy where now we're not buying an AR-15 bolt carrier from a vendor that makes them for 10 to 100 different companies. Now we're making
Yeah.
parts to our print that are specific to us, It can be any vendor who doesn't have these specific processes in place.
Yeah.
So now we're not limited to that, and we'll be able to get parts more consistently.
Yeah, because once I realize, I mean, with some of this parts that we get from vendors, I have concerns because I know there's a company with a tall fellow with a mullet that I don't like that is, stamps their bolt and carriers MP, mag particle testing, and, we know that their machine wasn't even hooked up for years, and they were just stamping it. Like, just because you see a stamp on there, I don't know, it's being mag particle tested. And that's a military requirement that's not necessarily something that you need. But was a requirement, and part of that's due to the manufacturing process and alloys and the secondary processing of the product, so they would mag particle test it. Yeah, I mean, I think a lot of times people ask these questions, they don't even really know why they're asking, but if it's the mil spec. And there's certain things about the mil spec that I think are important, but for today's time and the average consumer, not all of it.
I also think a lot of people, especially people who are newer into guns, I think they think that mil spec is like a quality level, not a drawing, basically.
Absolutely.
Not a set of tolerances.
Yeah.
That's
So-
always been the case.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's true. All right, we covered that. Somebody asked me about the drawback of using the short rail on the fix.
It looks ugly.
You're dumb. Yeah, maybe it doesn't look as cool.
Like
if
the
you
mini fix handguard on a 16-inch
Oh
barrel.
yeah, that's
Yeah.
ugly. No, they're talking about the top rail, the night because on
okay.
on my gun. So
Yeah,
I don't
yeah.
use the full length rail. The full length rail, it makes the handguard stiffer.
Mm-hmm.
But for me, if I'm not using inline night vision, I carry the gun a lot, spot and stock. Like, to me, just ergonomically, I don't like it as much, and I don't really use a bipod a ton or load it for my hunting, so I don't particularly care about the handguard being stiffer. And I like the ergonomics of holding the handguard. And if I want to mount inline thermal, then I just use one little rail section on top of the Q-Cert handguard. I think I have 3 fixed rifles, and 2 of them have this short rail. It's what I tend to prefer now. But if we're going, like, we're going to go in June to that ranch and spend a week shooting a ton out to 1,500, I'll put a full-length top rail because I'll use a bipod and be loading it. And so we're going to shoot so far, I want every advantage I can get. But that's the only time I want the full-length top rail, is if I'm using a lot of inline night vision or I'm loading a bipod a ton, because it makes the handguard a little stiffer. What about you? I mean, you reduce weight using the short one too.
I'd be curious to see what the difference is at 1,000 or 1,500 yards with both top rails, because the short top rail is still connected to the handguard.
Yeah.
It's still bridging that gap. The handguard is still clamped to the receiver with the pinch and the draw screw.
Yeah.
It's very stiff as it is.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Yeah.
The difference, because I think Colin
I thought it was a good
has
question.
I think Colin has a short rail on his, and I have a long rail on mine, and I've never even thought about the different. If there's any different. I mean, we're not shooting that far.
To me,
but-
the only difference is, are you putting something else in front of your scope? If
Yeah.
not, then just use a short top rail.
Yeah.
But again, we'll see in June when we're shooting at that distance, or if somebody else knows, hit us up in the comments.
But that's another thing that you brought up too, is the bipod loading and stuff like that. I'm like you just said, it's pretty sturdy as it is, but like we both primarily shoot prone and loading the bipod like in the yoga mat that we have.
Yeah.
And I wonder if there's any difference that. Obviously, we're both shooting different guns. I don't know.
I mean, there is difference. It's going to flex more,
Yeah.
Yeah.
but depends on how much you load the bipod, how far
Right.
you're shooting. If you want the most rigid thing, use the full-length top rail. I mean, we ship the guns with the full-length top rail. The short one is an option, and over time, it's what I've migrated to for hunting.
Yeah, if you're shooting off a bipod or something, then or a tripod, sorry, then short top rail for sure.
Yeah, because I tend to mount it back
Mm-hmm.
to the tripod, where the bipod's always out at the end of the handguard. I usually use the tripod closest to the receiver, so it doesn't affect it as much.
Yeah.
That was a good question.
What's the Megafix, Jay?
Are we doing a Megafix?
Well, I don't know. What is it?
Isn't it just a longer action fix?
Yeah.
Stuff like 300 Win Mag.
Magnum, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Just
so
a
basically half-inch longer.
beefed up.
So we'll
Fix.
see if we do it.
Yeah, someday. I think there's
mean-
more important projects ahead of it.
I want it,
I know
No,
you.
for sure, definitely.
but
What would you want it? Or do you just? I know you want it for the ability to do whatever you want.
300
but-
Win
300
Mag.
Win Mag.
Would you rather have that or the thing we're currently working on?
Depends on the day.
Hmm.
Like you're asking me at a tough time.
Well, I think the
like
thing
I'm
we're
in
working on,
Africa
you're gonna
right
use
now
more.
when this
Oh,
when
sure.
this is out
Yeah.
when
Yeah.
this comes out. So I would rather have that 300 Win Mag 16-inch barrel
Yeah,
mega fix so I could shoot some big fucking animals
but also you're gonna use the other thing all the time. I'm sure.
all the time. We talked about 8.6. Oh, 8.6 goes in the standard fix. It's a 308 base. So
Yeah, that's actually a very common question people keep asking about.
yeah, I don't know why it's
But
confusing.
I don't think that people realize that 6.5 and 308 have the same diameter case as well.
Yeah, and the same length. 6.5 and 308 are the same. 8.6
Right.
is the same for those.
Yeah.
8.6 is 300 blackout for 308 based guns, short
Right.
actions.
And 8.6 is using a 6.5 Creedmoor case, right? A neck
Shortened
down.
case. I mean, it could be a 308 shortened case, but we just started with 6.5. It had a couple of advantages with the taper and shit, but we could have done either. What else?
Unrelated.
Yeah.
What shoes you been running, Kevin? Because you were on the Ultima boot. Yeah, shoes. You were on the Ultima boots for
The
a while, but I saw you in
First of all,
Vans.
Kevin's not running anywhere.
Well,
What the hell's that
rocking?
supposed to mean? I'm a fucking specimen.
Yes, you are.
I am a unit. I am a stud. I have been training. I will challenge any of you guys to any physical activity right now.
When's the last time you ran, and how far did you go?
Yesterday.
Did you get up after you
3
slammed
miles.
and run it
Oh,
off?
yeah?
Like, oh,
Nice. You have a treadmill or something?
No.
No? You
No,
run on the streets?
Run in the
Doing
woods
road
like
work.
a fucking Tarzan, like an animal.
But with shoes on.
Took a slam yesterday. Yeah.
well, you were.
The Ultima boots. I
Yeah,
mean,
you
I wear
were-
Vans if I'm going skating. If
Yeah.
not, I'm wearing the boots to make sure they're broken in for my upcoming trip that I'll leave for in like a week.
what are you going to shoot in Africa?
Animals or guns?
Both.
I'm taking my little baby right there, and she's in 6.5 right now with a 16-inch proof barrel with a jumbo shrimp. And my other gun is a 16-inch 308 proof. I got another barrel, 16-inch 308 barrel, and it's got my little, my Johnny face trash panda on there that I take everywhere hunting with me. And I'll take it. Hornady hooked me up with ammo for both. So, Leopold sent me that scope. I'm kind of hyped on the Mark V. So I'm going to use that. I've got on my 308 gun. I've got my 1-8 Swarovski Z8i, and I'll use it.
That's my next optic. That's
That's
good.
Swarovski.
Yeah.
It's good for just like general shooting and hunting.
Yeah.
I like it the best. But I'm excited to try this one out. I mean, Leopold's been super awesome to me lately. They sent me some of his Delta Point Pros. They sent me that for the Africa trip. I'm going to use it. People love that scope.
Yeah.
And I think it's maybe the best scope Leopold's ever done. So I'll it's what, 3.6 to 18 Mark V,
Yep.
35 millimeter tube.
The HD.
The only problem with that is you're limited in rings and mounts, and they didn't have any good rings because typically they're using like Warren stuff, and it's big and heavy and goofy. But that's a Badger Ordnance mount, which is okay, and I generally like using one-piece mounts. But they sent me Leopold sent me some low-profile, lightweight rings with that. They're super nice. I was tempted to swap it out, but I'm probably not going to at this point because I'll leave soon.
I think that's my next optic, the Mark V HD.
I like it. I'll let you know when I come back. If I hate it, I'll give it to you.
Yeah. Do you guys care about focal plane at all? Like, are you a
Yeah,
first
I
only?
do. I
Yeah.
like it better. But
First.
yeah.
Me too.
And
Why?
I just like the fact that I feel like there's less you have to do in your head
yeah,
with your optic growing with magnification. Like second
Oh.
focal plane, I think you have to. I think
Yeah.
the rule of thumb is people zero it cranked, and then all your holds are off of that. Like if you change it, things are different.
yeah. So it's a little easier. You do less math yourself.
Yeah.
And then animal wise, so I'm super excited about. I don't have a kudu skull mount,
Mm.
and so I'm gonna shoot a kudu and warthog, blessed buck, waterbuck. I mean, we'll see. Whatever
Yeah.
steps out that's interesting, and
Kudu are awesome.
I'm gonna do. But it's pretty cool because it's actually a hunting show. We're going with Field Ethos, and so there's like 2 professional like camera people or crews. I'm not even sure. So it's all going to be documented very well. So I'm kind of excited about that. and so I'll go to Georgia a few days early. I'm going to train up as much as I can. I would have liked to have devoted more time to it, but I got to make the longest shot with the shortest barrel. So there's 6 of us going, 6 shooters. So
They post
stoked.
really cool stuff. Field
Yeah.
Ethos.
Yeah.
I didn't follow them before on my personal, and then just the Q Instagram follows them, and I see every time I go on Q's Instagram, I see that they pop up. I'm like, man, they post the coolest stuff.
Yeah, it's good. They do a lot of interesting stuff, and topics, products, experience. They're cool, man. But I'm pumped for the hunt. I'm just excited to get out there. Anytime I can get out there, and we're going to be on 500,000 acres, basically, no fenced land. It's all. I try. I'm just so excited because Africa was shut down for a year, so I haven't been. But I'm at the age and experience level now where I know the exciting stuff are things that I'm not planning for. And, I can decide, like, whatever animal I want to shoot, I can go shoot whatever I want. It never ends up being the thing that's the most interesting or inspiring or exciting or the best experience. So I just can't fucking wait to get there and ride around and, some spot and stalk and, just hang out with, some of your buddies and try to kill some shit,
That was something.
Kill some stuff we're going to eat. And
yeah, my mom asked me, she's like, does Kevin ever get bored doing that? Like, just hunting all the time? Like, he has the ability to hunt whatever he wants, wherever he wants. So, like, there's no... And she never hunted or anything. And I was like, you experience things when you hunt that you'll never experience anywhere else. Even if you're not shooting anything, just the things you'll see you'll never see it anywhere else.
Yeah, I mean, imagine... I can't explain it, but if you're not into hunting... I mean, it's just ignorance. If you're not into hunting, you don't know. But being out in the wild... It's like, imagine if you went to Target and it's like a brawl could break out, or there's a bunch of wild animals and like you just don't know what's going to happen.
I thought you said a bra.
A big bra breaks out.
Could break, I guess.
A brawl.
Yeah.
But I mean, just I think to me, it's like a lot of life is just so predictable, and you anticipate it, and it's not surprising. And I have to look for ways to make things interesting. And, it's probably why I'm so willing to risk and stuff. But that is one thing. When you're out in the wild, like we can walk out in the woods here, but like whatever. But in places like that, I mean, you never know. I mean, 2 years ago now when I was there and we were stalking a kudu, we had a freaking a mamba like 3 feet from us at one point, and I was horrified. Like, I was so scared. And then we were going after, I don't remember, maybe a wildebeest, and we happened upon a track of a 17-foot rock python that we ended up stumbling upon. And just like all these little things that, you're just not going to see here.
Yeah, and you don't plan for it.
No.
It just happens. Yeah.
Are pythons dangerous from like a biting standpoint, or they just wrap you up?
No, well, I
think
mean,
when they bite, they don't let go.
If they bite you, no, it's generally the infection from the bite. So if you don't have access to like antibiotics or something that you could get sick and die from because there's like all the rotten meat and stuff in their mouth. But a 17-foot one's like 250, 300 pounds.
Yeah,
like it could kill you, but it'll eat your children and stuff.
Yeah.
So you got to watch that.
Like Mike Tyson.
I don't know. It's like the little part of your brain, though. You're just terrified the entire time.
Yeah, that's fair.
I'm not going to talk a lot more about it because they're like protected in Africa, and you're not supposed to grab a hold of them or anything.
Yeah.
But I've seen some shit. So that trip should be a lot of fun.
Yeah.
And I can't wait to report on that. But just that experience too. Yeah, I can't. Me not growing up hunting and having the ability now, being so fortunate to be able to go on like a lot of these very interesting hunts and just incredible parts of the world. Yeah, I can't wait. I mean,
there's a lot of cool stuff going on for Q just in general. Like,
so much.
Marketing's we're doing a bunch of cool stuff like this. We're doing this. We get a bunch of cool guests. We're going to have a bunch of cool products, cool merchandise, just everything. Hiring
I know.
people.
Mm-hmm. Our sponsor, Tactical Distributors, you brought him up earlier, Uncle Todd Askin's coming on. That's such a cool company too. Like a lot of products that are just useful And they're in a cool place, being in Virginia Beach, where, that's where Dam Neck is, and, a lot of the SEALs are there. And there's companies like London Bridge and all these other companies that are there in Virginia Beach because of them. And it's just a community there of all this stuff. And so his experiences, I can't wait for us to talk to him and, hear his story and, the whole deal for tactical distributors and stuff he's seen around there. And, a lot of good guests.
Just exciting times in general. Like, obviously we're focusing on production and boosting that as much as we can, but we're also doing other stuff. Like, because I see people ask all the time, like, what's new for Q? What's next for everything? And we've got so much stuff coming.
Yeah, it's not always a new product.
Yeah. Right. What's speaking of that though? What's the trigger name?
Well, it's literally the best trigger ever made.
Yeah, so I can't wait for the.
Yeah, but what's the name?
It's literally the best trigger ever made.
So yeah, I mean that's cool. The bipod, oh my God, that's like beating a dead horse at this point. I can't wait for the bipod, and I'm so upset I don't have the bipod to take on this trip. It's stupid. We should get all kinds of great footage. Well, if we do, I need to take it.
It's kicking around somewhere.
All sorts of stuff.
So products of the company growing, deciding like where to take us in the future, and then we have to deal with politics and all these other things. But we're just in such a great place now where, we reach a milestone about every year or so, and then you got to make a new decision. You're at a fork in the road. And I'm just so excited about the growth now. Developing product, continuing to develop the company, to mature the company, like you said, growing the marketing department. So now we can do point of purchase stuff that I'm so fucking hyped on, just as much as I am the products, honestly, but it's probably a good thing I'm not in charge. And, but doing swag, and we've built a brand to where we can really take advantage of a lot of these things. And now like we can have a lot of great guests on. Like I can't wait for Lorena and John Clements and Todd and, just having Chris Barrett on, Talon Sy, and just continue to grow that. Getting a lot of real information out there is exciting.
Yeah, Q's obviously still so young, but I think it's very evident that the brand itself it's staked its claim. It's like, it's here, it's not going away. It's in a position where now it's just
why do you think that is?
Well, you guys brought Tommy and I on, and I think we bring a whole lot to this. But no, I just think we kind of talked about it before, like previous places that we've worked, and I think that Q does things differently. It's not focused on being the coolest, not even the coolest, but it's not focused on being like ultra tactical. There's no tunnel vision at Q. Like we just do what we like to do, and we're more concerned about doing that, like things that we like, things that we think are cool. And we talked about it off air before, but like you guys pay attention to what people want and what in the company. I mean, not necessarily outside, but like morale's always a cool thing at Q. It's always like a high thing. You care about what we want to do and what we're interested in. And I think that it just promotes creativity. And I think that's what Q's all about, is creativity and
that's awesome
stuff like that.
Yeah. I mean, for me, I've always been so inspired and motivated, and I'm so competitive, and I want to win. And just, where Ethan years ago kind of brought on, the beginning of a real technical understanding and expertise, and really being committed to that, to me, along with the creativity, it's like we got to have the best product. Like I'm so competitive, got to have the best product. And as the industry grows, that's hard to define in certain areas. When we talk about silencers or the fixed rifle, what's it best at? Maybe nothing, maybe everything, trying to build stuff that's just very usable. And that's difficult for Ethan, or maybe even, Adam's background at SIG, where you have this requirement and it spells out what you need. And that's something I am fucking horrible at, but I'm competitive enough. And I think the attention to detail, I want our products to be the best. Now the difficulty for me, and I think the marketing team, is for us to define and explain a lot of the things that we do.
Right.
But like we talked about earlier, you handle the mini fix. There's no doubt you need to own one.
Yeah.
Talk all the shit you want. Go shoot one with your friends and tell me you don't dream about it.
Yeah.
But what do you think? What do you think's different about Q, Adam?
I think Jay hit it on the head. I think that we kind of just do what we want to do, and typically we don't like a lot of dumb shit. You know, or if we do, we don't do that.
It's made known that we don't if we don't like it.
Yeah, and that's fine. And I think as far as the brand goes, kind of like we were saying earlier, we're pretty accessible, you know, in the DMs, and we really interact with our customers, and I think that creates that personal vibe that a lot of other companies don't offer, especially the bigger companies. I mean, it's kind of like what we always talk about. You know, we're the people's company. That was like a really early on thing we used to talk about, right?
You just said what I wanted to say is like I think the difference is it's authentic.
Yeah.
Like when I'm an ass, it's authentic.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Like when I'm generous, it's authentic.
Mm-hmm.
Like when we do what we want, it's just authentic. It's not trying to appease anyone else ever.
Yeah, there's no facade at Q.
No.
Yeah, you get what you get, and you know, you kind of get what you give with Q. You know, if you come at us with an attitude or a dickhead, if you're unhappy, sorry you're unhappy, but this is not the way to handle it, and we're not going to sugarcoat it.
And we talked about it before too. Like people, I've even seen some of the emails that Jenna's got after the podcast that we posted, where we talked about people who are new into guns and being straight out, just being like, "Hey, I'm new to this," like whatever, and asking the more basic questions. Like, I feel like we've gotten a spike in that, and I think it was because we made it known, like, "Hey, we're not like we're dicks to people who are dicks." But if you're a genuine person, you're new and like you just want to learn, I think everyone at Q is happy to help people.
Those are my favorite times because I tell you, anybody who feels entitled to me, I can't stand and don't ever want them as a customer. I just don't. It's like it's never fruitful for anyone. You're never going to appease people like that.
Yeah, I think one thing we're doing right is we're not interested in trying to gain 100% of the market.
No.
As soon as you try to do that, you're going to fall on your face. I think we're happy with, 10% of the market.
Yeah. I mean, I want to, shit, I want my own jet, but I don't want...
And a pilot.
An actual pilot. I don't want, SIG's problems, and I don't want to compete with, I think Savage and Ruger are great companies, and I don't think I have it in me to compete with them. It's not something of my interest.
That's something I hear a lot too of when people are like, "Well, so do you guys sell to the military? Like, what is it? Like, are you guys trying to get big contracts?" And I was like, everyone that works there has been a part of a big contract and know what goes into it. And it's like, that's not, as far as the way I see it, it's not our goal. Is like, we're not shooting. Like, obviously, if there are groups that are interested in our stuff, we will work with them. And it's been done before, but like,
and we do.
Yeah, we're not going to chase contracts. We're not going to stop what we're doing and design something to meet a stupid requirement.
No.
Like, we're going to make the best thing we can in each category that we want to do. And if the end users also like that thing, then they'll come to us. And
I think that's another misconception that people have about gun companies in general, is that the end goal, like a military contract, is the pinnacle. And it's
for
good.
me,
it's good marketing, but I mean, it's a pain in the ass.
I mean, it is great, but it also locks a product and technology in, and it causes a lot of problems with future technology and growth of the company. Like SIG right now, I mean, and they're still doing awesome things, but if they maintain that 320 contract, was it the M17 with the Army?
17, 18,
Yeah. I mean, that's half of what SIG is for the next 30 years. So it's awesome in some ways because you make a bunch of money and you're going to sell them mags at $50 a piece. And, Ron Cohen gets like a sweet ass retirement. But the company itself, like that's half the company. Half your resources are devoted to that.
Right.
That's perfectly okay if that's your objective.
It is.
Right.
But for me, like at this stage of my career, my aspirations, it's like I want innovation and I don't want the future of the company, half of it to be locked down to some production of, some, improved aspects of a Glock.
I think it's funny because I've had people tell me like, well, yeah, but if the contracts were offered up, I promise you that Kevin and whoever's in charge, like that, they would go for them. Like, I don't.
Big Army contract? Probably not.
Hey, they've been a part of that. Like, I don't think that's the goal, man. Like, I'm telling you, that's not.
Well, I mean, for me, Adam is the business leader at this point. If it makes sense for the company, it makes sense.
Right.
Like, I have in my mind what I want, but I know that's going to change with every political thing that happens, with the company itself, with our local politics. Like, there's just so many factors. But I am dedicated to what's best for the company, and I know if we achieve that, I get what I want out of it. You know, I love this industry and I love the innovation and I want the opportunity to continue to participate in that and make improvements where we can and offer customers a better experience shooting, no matter who that is. If it's your first gun or you're in a tier 1 group, you know, shooting terrorists, like I have to be a part of something that's improving that experience.
Yeah.
You know, those are my goals. AR-15 Honey Badger brace stock. It's taken quite a while.
I'm excited for it.
Me too.
It exists. Look at this thing. It's glorious.
Yeah,
It is very
cool.
good.
It is cool.
Turned out better than the original, better than expected.
Yeah. I wish this... I need more hands. Middle position, which is nice for this configuration because it's a little bit longer.
I agree.
The,
I like the middle position for shooting out of a helicopter.
Then why didn't
Yeah.
you do it on the Honey Badger?
Well, this is a lot longer
'Cause it's
than
dumb.
the Honey Badger.
Yeah.
Like, so
Yeah.
we can have this extra cheek weld. If this were a stock, that'd be your cheek weld. But the middle position's nice. You get a nice long length to pull. Yeah, I really need. a couple hands here.
You're making it look very difficult.
Well, I'm trying not to bump into the microphone.
What?
No, I'm excited for it. SB Tactical is going to be selling the braces in black and Honey Badger color configurations. We will sell the stocks on our website in Honey Badger color configuration, maybe black. And they
Selling
are
both, probably.
probably both. Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
I'm super excited for it, and it's right around the corner. You know,
Oh.
I talked to some of the vendors yesterday being March 23rd, and there's thousands of parts rolling off the line now, literally thousands.
Long time
Yeah,
coming. I'm
It's a
excited.
long time coming, but, you know, supply chain's a bitch.
Yeah, if you're gonna ask, any idea when it's coming? Just don't ask it. Just wait until it comes. Like
At
people-
least not in that voice.
that's the
Oh,
voice. That's
Customer
the
service here.
That's the voice when they fucking ask.
Jenna
But-
doesn't talk about her customers that way.
No, she does not. But also, people act as if we aren't gonna let everyone know when we have a new product. Like we literally, you could sign up for restock notifications. Like,
Well, we
Who-
sell out quick, so I get people panicking. But
Who are we going to tell first when it's in stock? Who should it be? So we
I don't
have
know.
we have our Instagram, we have our emails, we have the Facebook owners group, we have the podcast.
yeah, so here are my thoughts. So there is the Live, Q, or Die owners group. Is that the name of it? So that's not run by us.
No,
That's one of our customers.
I think we're
that set that
admins
up.
on it.
Yeah,
which-
I realize that I am an admin now, but
That was just so we can post without asking permission. That's all I do. Is I don't do any admin stuff other than just post without Matt having to approve it.
yeah, that's pretty cool. So I kind of think something should be for them.
Yeah.
You know, whether it's the trigger or the stock, but then also like people who have sent us alcohol.
Yeah.
Something we need to do for them. And who are the other options?
So we get the podcast. We can drop it on the podcast, and everybody can go order it when they
Ooh.
hear about it first there.
Well, I
So-
still want to do a thing
Good
where
reason
like we
to-
give a code here on the podcast and somebody can go buy a honey
that's
badger
good.
or something at a discount.
Yeah, we're gonna do that.
Oh.
Yeah.
Can we blame Tommy? Is he slipping?
No, it's me actually.
Oh.
/ Colin. But
All right.
yeah, so it just depends on, you know, where do we want to drive subscribers to? Do we want people to be part of that Facebook group? Or do we want people to have to subscribe to the YouTube to be notified of that? You know?
I don't
or
know.
the email.
We need
Email
we,
subscription, yeah.
we need to figure it out. Standard carrier,
Yeah.
shotgun open, unlike the honey badger.
Yep.
Comes with the spring and buffer
Yeah.
that are required for it.
Yeah, proprietary spring and buffer, but it will come with it, so you don't have to buy it and then buy your 9mm or 5.56 version of the spring and buffer. I think it's, well, that's not totally true. I think it's going to ship with the rifle caliber spring and buffer, and then the 9mm will be available to buy as an accessory.
That's the way you're gonna do it.
Yeah. Other people that make a PDW style stock, you only get the tube, and it doesn't come with any spring or buffer. So then you got to do that. So
You got to do it separately.
we're-
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Well, that's the plan now. That could change by the time it launches with SB or us.
Okay.
Yeah.
I don't even know everyone's name at Q anymore, which is weird.
Well, the problem is we're getting a lot of repeat names. For as small as a company
Yeah, I don't
is,
like
we
that.
have multiple Mitches, multiple Nicks, multiple Matts,
This is my brother Daryl. This is my
couple
other brother
Amy's.
Daryl.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
It is weird.
Yeah.
I'm just, you know, it's like, I guess if you're dating a bunch of girls, hey baby, like whatever. I don't know.
That is how you refer to us when you come in.
It is
to
strange,
work.
but I'm
yeah.
used to it.
Then I don't confuse y'all's names. Hey baby, how y'all doing?
No, a couple of good new hires. We talked about Jenna a couple times, and a
she's
few
crushing
podcasts now. She's not quite new
Yeah. been
when
here a
it
few
comes to
months.
podcasts, but
I don't know the new person in QC.
Ryan, he's
Ryan.
doing awesome. Matt, engineering intern. Got
Well,
Nick.
he's cool.
He's
Got
cool. He's
Nick.
quiet. I like that.
Yeah.
Silencer
He's,
Nick.
Yeah, Silencer Nick. He's working with Jack in the Silencer department, so that department's growing.
Oh yeah, that's growing a lot. Yeah, silencers. So we're dedicated
Mm-hmm.
to that this year. I'm so excited.
Yeah, the electricians set up the new wire EDM yesterday, and Mitsubishi will be here tomorrow to set up the machine. So
Nice.
doubling the capacity on the wire.
Amy 2. We have Amy 2.
Yeah, Amy 2, rifle assembly.
I'm trying to think.
Yeah,
I don't know. There's lots of people.
that's good.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I know,
more to come. We need more assemblers.
We're interviewing people
We
yesterday
need
for
a
marketing.
graphic designer coming to support Tommy. I don't think Tommy knew he was going to be doing a podcast and the website and all the things when he first got hired on. So crushing it, but he needs help.
Yep.
What else? QC. Ryan's probably going to need another inspector or something like that.
yeah.
It's all growing.
It's just growing.
Packing, shipping, receiving, everything.
It's fun.
Yeah,
It's
exciting
fun.
times.
It is. It is. All right.
If any of those
Gonna finish up.
positions are interesting to anybody, jobs@liveqordie.com. Send your resume. Be proactive. Let us know you're listening to the podcast.
Yep.
I think that's it. I don't know. There's a lot more stuff on here. Who cares? So,
So it's the month of April.
mystery shirt.
It's back.
Yeah. Mystery shirt, the month of April. It's awesome. You have an opportunity to win something. We're not going to say what it is. Could be a silencer, could be a gun, could be a gun with lots of stuff.
Yeah.
The shirt itself is cool too.
What is the shirt?
The shirt's awesome.
Well, I'm not. It's
Explain
a mystery.
it.
It's a
Nah,
mystery.
Just explain it.
It's cool.
Yeah.
It's one you would buy.
Yeah. It
Even
is
if you
really
didn't have
cool.
an opportunity to win potentially a many thousands of dollars.
It's such a mystery
prize.
that I don't know what it is.
Oh,
It's probably best you and Christine, that's in-house legal, would probably shut it down.
Is it kid friendly?
I don't think this one's not kid friendly, but it's cool.
I think it's cool if the kids can wear it in school without knowing that it's a gun company shirt.
It is kid friendly, he says.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is a thing with the kids because I get people send me, they buy them for their kids every time and send me lots of pictures
Yeah,
of them. And
I
I try
love
to
it.
repost. Yeah, it's so
Yeah.
cool. Yeah, anything we can do to get people taking their kids shooting or whatever, but it is hard if we put just like a gun and a silencer on a shirt, then they can't wear it to school. They
Right.
got the other little Karen moms, yeah. So make it a mystery.
Yeah, and you can buy one, you can buy 10, gift it to people. Doesn't matter. The more you buy, the better your chances of winning.
Just like in the commercial.
Just like in the
Yeah.
commercial.
How will we pick the winner?
Yeah,
There's
we had
no,
some-
there's no method to the madness.
No, we had.
We're just gonna do like a live stream.
Yeah,
there's a
call
million things we
people. Oh,
can
that
do.
would be cool if we just like you have to enter your phone number and we FaceTime you or something.
Yeah, we can add that when we're
I
on
would
live.
like
We
that.
can add them
Ooh,
in.
I would like that. Surprise people.
Yeah.
So
Like that time for Thanksgiving when I did the thing with like get a video of your grandma shooting one of our guns.
was
yeah, that was great.
Oh, Betty, remember wasn't that her name Betty?
Something like
Probably.
that.
It
Yeah.
was so
it's a
great.
grandma
But yeah,
name.
in the order, if we have them put their phone number in the order, and we just call them
Yeah.
during the wee hours of the night, wake them up.
I think
That seems
historically it's just been kind of a random pick because we never did the more you buy, the better your chances of winning.
Right.
So if we're going to actually do that, it's going to take a little bit more doing to pick the winner,
Yeah.
you know?
Give us your
I
address
mean,
and
we
we'll
just
show
enter it
up.
all in with each time they buy, so you get and then you just like scroll and random pick one. I don't know.
Yeah.
Anyway, mystery shirt. So we're gonna start that back. That needs to be like a monthly thing. I'm so sick of us doing it like once a year. We need to do a lot of them.
Yeah,
Promise.
it needs,
We need
to
to
be
get
more
after
than, it needs to be more
They're
than once a
fun
year for sure.
Like, look at this shirt. This should have been a mystery shirt. It's awesome.
Mystery's
Yeah,
out.
it's too awesome to be a mystery shirt.
You think?
I don't know.
Oh,
The mystery's
Although
out.
the last mystery shirt, everyone wants us to make it a regular shirt,
Yeah.
and now we're conflicted.
I think maybe we should do like black and white, or we just do it on a hoodie, or we need to think of something cool. The last one was really good. Need to alter it a little. I feel like we got to
Army
break
guy, yeah.
we got to break the mold. Like when we do them, we can't say you can never buy it again. Do it. Like even if it's a little different color or something different about it, we got to change it. I think it's got to be you got one time to get it. Don't call me. I know Ben my cousin David. I can buy them or hit me up when we're doing it.
I
Don't
would
ask me
say
2 months later.
Fulfillment of this one is going to be way better.
Oh yeah. So Adam trying to improve things went with a fulfillment service, and
that
they
was my bad.
sucked butt.
Yeah.
So we're just gonna pitch in
They
and do
sucked
it
butt
at the
at
office.
the fulfillment.
Yeah.
They didn't.
Yeah, which
they
is
did
what
not
you
s-
hired him for.
Well, they did not suck butt at suck butt. Why are we saying suck butt?
Because that's what you say all the time. Start shipping at the end of May.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's when they're going to
Yeah,
ship.
so orders are for the whole month of April.
All of April.
But
But I want somebody to be able to win, not even necessarily a Q product, like
Yeah,
a
dirt
bike,
bike,
or
yeah.
like we talked about dirt bikes. We're making friends with Polaris. Like, give them some crazy shit. If we sell 10,000 mystery shirts,
Give them my Suburban
You know?
with my truck vault and all my guns in it.
yeah,
yeah.
well, let's get crazy.
Fuck, I'm buying one if there's a dirt bike in the mix.
Well, that's the thing. If we sell 10 mystery shirts, we're going to offer a rimfire silencer. If we sell 1,000, we'll offer a rifle.
So let's do more.
We should try.
I would say we do 10,000. I'll give somebody my Suburban with my truck vault.
All right. Boom.
All right.
Final remarks.
So
Mystery shirt, whole month of April. Don't sleep.